Hello. Welcome to Jade Kind Video Gaming. My name is Adam, here as Violet with more Pokémon Violet. We're back at school. They gotta get a new notebook. So sorry to hear that. But, yeah. Let's head back in. We've been working our way through this part of the game. They also have to get a new notebook. Wow. I think last time we tried to hunt some things down possible with the spikes, and I'm more and more convinced I'm never going to get to do that. Do we still have classes? Oh! Barely! Yeah, I'd like to take home ec with Mr. Saguaro. Yes. Okay. Cause class begin soon, don't be tired. Like, I sat down and was almost feeling like, how much more of this do we got? But not much. Cool. Very cool. Oh, look at him. I see we have some energetic young ones in our class this time around. You may call me Mr. Saguaro. Your time here with me will be spent obtaining knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life. Many of you have left the care of your parents to live here on your own in the academy dormitory. I pray that the knowledge I impart to you will improve the quality of your lives and the necessities thereof, food, clothing, and shelter. Of those three categories, I assume the most pressing and interesting for you all is food. When you eat sandwiches on your picnics, the hit points of your body Pokemon will be restored. Oh my god. Are they now teaching me what picnics are? Is this the picnics class here at the end of the game? Maybe I'll use it in the DLC. You will also gain something called meal powers, which can provide all manner of benefits. For example, these powers can make Pokemon easier to catch, or increase the experience points that your Pokemon receive. What? What? Hello, thing that should be part of the I think you will also find that the breadth of these effects can be expanded by crafting sandwiches of superb flavor. What's more, there is a certain something that is particularly important if we wish to receive meal powers with even more helpful effects. Let me see, Miss Violet. Tell me, what must you keep in mind to receive even more helpful meal powers? I have to remember to put my heart into it! Haha, that is an interesting take. They're not exactly what I was looking for. I suppose you are correct, in a sense. Your choice of ingredients, including both fillings and condiments, is an important factor in gaining even more helpful meal powers. For example, using sweet ingredients in your sandwiches may help you gain egg power. Including numerous bitter ingredients, on the other hand, can gain you item drop power. Learning to aim for specific effects when crafting sandwiches will almost certainly make your culinary endeavors more enjoyable. Please be aware, however, that you can also receive meal powers by eating at restaurants. I must say that I would feel the utmost joy if you all learned much here in my class and came to better understand home economics. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. I feel like this is something that they should have taught earlier in the game. Because I feel like this is literally the bottom of the class options. And it doesn't, it's not like it says cooking or something, it says home economics. I figured I'm learning sewing here. Yeah, let's go to class. Put away your phones. It's time to begin class. In our last class, I believe we talked about the effects you can get from food on your picnics. You can receive Neo powers and even restore hit points for all the Pokemon in your party. It is a truly convenient means of healing your Pokemon. Unfortunately, as I'm sure you are aware, it is not suited for use in battles, when you cannot make food, or when you wish to restore hit points quickly. In times such as those, you should make use of healing items such as potions, which you can purchase from Pokemots, or the school store, or find on the ground all over the place. Healing items are immediately effective and can be used any time that you can open your bag. They are, however, consumed after one use. Potions restore 20 hit points, Super Potions restore 60, Hyper Potions restore 120. The pricier the item, the more hit points it will restore. Keep in mind how much money you have when you are stocking up on these items. However, unforeseen happenings are an inextricable part of traveling from place to place. Imagine, if you will, the following scenario. You find yourself with injured Pokemon, but you have no potions. You're out of sandwich ingredients, and there are no Pokemon centers nearby. Tell me, Miss Violet, what should you search for when in perilous situations with no way to heal your Pokemon? Items on the ground? Perfectly correct, Miss Violet. I see you are well learned in survival techniques. If you see something shiny on the ground, it is actually an item that has been dropped there. You may be able to find a restorative item such as an Oran Berry or a potion in this way. You can use the R button to send out your Pokemon to pick up such items as well. And then there are berries, of course. Berries, by the way, aren't like items from shops. If you let your Pokemon hold one, it will decide on its own when to eat the berry during battle. Letting your Pokemon decide this timing for itself can be quite interesting. At any rate, if you find yourself in need of healing, I suggest you look around for shining items on the ground. If you can't find such items, there are other methods you may employ for healing your... but I see the bell demands that topic wait. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Still wish I could just link these all together. Load, 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 load. Put away your phones, it's time to begin class. In my last class, I taught about hit point restoration. However, after class, I was asked by several of you about power points, commonly known as PP. When a Pokemon loses all its HP, it faints and can no longer battle. What then happens if a Pokemon when it loses all of its PP? It can't use its moves, but there's no joke answer. Like it needs to drink more water. Very correct, Miss Violet. Perhaps you know this from first-hand experience? Oh, from several lives ago. When a Pokemon runs out of PP, it can no longer use its moves. However, each move has its own store of PP, so you can mitigate PP loss by using a variety of moves rather than just one move repeatedly. If a Pokemon loses all PP for all of its moves, it would only be able to use Struggle, an action that also damages the Pokemon that uses it. In order to avoid this predicament, PP can be restored at Pokemon centers along with HP. Items such as Ethers and Max Ethers can also be used to restore PP. But be careful not to confuse potions with Ethers in the heat of battle. However, Ethers are not sold at shops, so you should use them judiciously if you find them. The stronger the move, the lower its maximum PP. Do not waste uses of these moves unless you wish to quickly run out of PP. It is important to find balance in a Pokemon's set of moves. As you can see, HP isn't the only thing you must keep an eye on while adventuring with Pokemon. And I hope that you will all take care to ensure that your partner Pokemon can perform at their best as you each engage in the treasure hunt. Our time together has come to an end for today. Our next meeting will be an examination day. Bring plenty of pee-pee. And review well in preparation. Okay, moving on to the halfway point here with a midterm. Alright. The time has come to test how well you have learned here in my class. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from a last-minute cram session fades. Which is not in effect. Appreciation, gaining meal powers. I'm gonna guess not C. Which of the following affects the kinds of meal powers received from a particular meal? Which of the following does affect? Okay. Which of these berries can restore Pokemon's hit point? Oh. Guessing. Leandro wanted his Pokemon to decide on its own when to use its item in battle, so he gave it an orange berry. This will work as he hopes. Yeah. If a move runs out of PP, it can no longer be used. If a Pokemon runs out of PP for all its moves, it can only sit there in frustration. It's basically struggling, but technically you want a different word. The time for answering questions has come to an end. Please stop writing. I hope you were all able to give the examination everything you had. Please remember to ask for your scores at the front desk before leaving for the day. Let's see the results. Five out of 5. I'm the best. Experience candies. Carry on to more home ec. Put away your phones. Time for class to begin. Though some of you had to retake the midterm exam multiple times, I am glad to say that the majority of the class passed without issue. I feel honored to see that the knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life have taken root in all of you. I trust that you will all work just as hard on your life skills in the second half of your course as well. Let us now turn our attention to the topic of the day, which was inspired by a question I received on the subject of meal powers. The student who asked this question is a young man who enjoys the culinary arts. He tells me that he regularly researches culinary techniques on his own and pays careful attention to ingredients he uses. He also spends day and night studying all aspects of the culinary arts. Yet despite this, he is baffled by his inability to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers. So tell me, Miss Violet, since you did quite well on your midterm exam, what should this young man, Aryan, oh, I can see him right in front of me, with his jacket, do to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers? Arvin? He should make food with other people. Perfectly correct. I see that you are knowledgeable about the culinary arts. To increase the effectiveness of meal powers, your sandwiches must be filled with many different ingredients. For a single person, this may prove difficult, but if you prepare a sandwich with others, you will be able to handle a larger serving of bread. With a larger base to start with, it becomes quite simple to add more ingredients to your sandwich, which in turn makes it possible to receive meal powers of increased effectiveness. This applies more broadly as well. When dealing with a difficult issue, working with others to solve the issue may be the best course of action. I am sure that Arvin will likewise work with friends to craft his sandwiches in the future. The identity of the male student is a matter of privacy, so I would ask that you do not pry too deeply. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Oh, Arvin. Load the lobby, load back into class. Yes, please. Put away your phones, time for class to start. While you're out performing field work with one of your Pokemon walking alongside you, have you ever noticed changes in its coloration? Now, I don't mean that it suddenly becomes a shiny Pokemon, or any nonsense like that. I am speaking of it becoming filthy. Pokemon battle, they get hurt by moves used against them. They get battered by wind and rain. They get covered in sand and mud. They get, in a word, filthy. I have seen many a trainer walking about with their adorable little Pokemon without addressing this issue. It is deplorable. Let me ask this question of someone who I am sure would not tolerate such shameful conduct. Ah yes, Miss Violet. What should you do if your Pokemon is dirty? Clean it up. Perfectly correct. I knew I could count on you to provide me with such an answer. When your Pokemon are dirty, clean them. This is of course simply common sense. While you are having a picnic, you can approach the Pokemon on your team and perform a variety of actions. One such action is putting them through what I would like to call the Pokemon wash. In other words, you're able to clean them up. You start by getting your sponge lathered up with soapy bubbles as you gently and carefully scrub your Pokemon. Once your Pokemon is nice and covered in soapy bubbles, the bubbles will encapsulate the filth. Then you simply wash it away with a spray of water. This will get your Pokemon clean and shining bright as a Terra Jewel. It is certainly quite a bit of work, but this will also restore hit points and cure status conditions. However, some Pokemon may have parts of their bodies that they don't want scrubbed, or that they would rather not get wet. Be sure to keep this in mind when cleaning your Pokemon. Now, the most important point that I must mention is that some Pokemon like to be dirty. Though I will contradict myself by saying this, please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind thing to do. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. So I'm guessing, you know, don't wash the flame on a Charmander, don't clean a muck. And as I've not done like a picnic, that's a part of the game I didn't know there even existed. Is this the last actual class? Phones away, class begins. Home economics is the study of life's necessities. But looking back on our time together, I realized that I focused almost entirely on food. I hope it is not too late to shift to a discussion of clothing, another necessity, in our last class. As I'm sure you are aware, our academy has an air of freedom about it. We provide uniforms for each season to accommodate the diverse climate of Paldea. However, students are free to wear whichever style they wish whenever they please. You should all have received 4 sets of tops and bottoms, one each for spring, summer, fall, and winter, when the academy accepted you. If, by chance, you are not aware of this, you may wish to peruse your wardrobe. As long as you wear our school uniform, the rest of your ensemble need not be school-issued. This includes your bag or your hat, if you choose to wear one. You are even free to style your hair however you wish. Mr. Salvatore's hairstyle, for example, would almost certainly have been against school rules when I was a boy. That reminds me. There is one more thing you all like to decorate, which I must say, I find quite charming. See, He wants it to say our Rotom phones, because that's the thing you can decorate, but I'm going to choose to answer our dorm rooms, because that's the thing I wish the game let me decorate. No, not that. I speak of something smaller and far more adorable. More importantly, how you decorate the interior of your dorm rooms is none of my business. You won't let me. I must admit that I am fascinated by Rotom phones and how to customize them. What's that? How very intriguing. So there's a shop called Delibird Presents, where you can purchase cases for your Rotom phones. I thank you for that useful bit of information. I shall have to go myself first thing tomorrow to get an adorable case of my own liking. Forgive me, I seem to have gotten a little carried away with this small talk. Ahem. As this class is known as Home Economics nears its end, I offer these final words to you who have been honing everyday life skills with me. My field of study is not so decisive as the likes of mathematics, for instance, where test scores might play a part in deciding your future. However, as you go on to cook for yourselves, to take care of your Pokemon, to decide what to wear in the morning when you awaken, I would be honored if what I have taught you serves to smoothen out and enrich your lives, even if only a little. This sentiment was imparted to me by Mr. Hassel and his particular outlook on such matters. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart for seeing this class through to the end. Our time together has come to a close for today. Prepare to do your best on our final exam. Farewell! I'm almost done with classes. The time has come to test how well you all have learned in my class. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from a last-minute cram session fades. I don't think you ever taught that, but that makes sense. So the following is not an effective egg power. I don't think you find eggs, so... what is a simple yet important tactic for increasing the effectiveness of meal powers? Make food with others. What is the correct action to take when your adorable Pokemon becomes dirty? Pokemon wash. This is a question about Academy rules. Should you change your uniform tops and bottoms to properly match each season? It doesn't matter. The time for answering questions has come to an end. Please stop writing. I made the questions a little easier than I'd planned to, so as a way of saying thank you for informing me about Rotom phone cases. I trust that you all gave this exam everything you had, so that you will not have to retake it. Alright, let's see how we did. Oh, I got one wrong. Well, I guessed that at least one. I wish it would tell me what. More experience candy. You have now finished all of your classes and passed all of their exams. I have this for you from Director Clavel. More experience candy. Now you can focus all your efforts on this year's treasure hunt. Be careful out there. Let's head to the home ec room. Welcome to the Home Economics classroom. I consider this to be my very own castle of sorts. Miss Violet from Class 1A. Rumors of your activities always seem to be bombarding me from all sides. My activities? Indeed. People from all over have been talking about how strong of a battler you are and the amazing Pokémon you take along with you. You are quite the object of everyone's interest, though I imagine that may be a bother for you. The home economics classroom is something of a place of rest for the Academy students, you see. Here they delight in sharing the latest gossip and the like while enjoying a light snack. You come up quite often in those talks recently, Miss Violet. So much so that I find myself intrigued. If it's not a burden for you, I would very much enjoy having you come see me again sometime. It became slightly closer with... What's his face? Let's just follow him over here. Hello, Miss Violet of Class 1A. It has been some time since we last met. It's been seconds, dude. Are you here to eat as well? It's kind of wandered in. Drawn in by the irresistible aromas, I imagine. I myself am here to survey the student cafeteria, let's say. I am observing the nutritional content of the food that our students partake of on a regular basis. One item on the menu here that I am particularly interested in is the peanut butter sandwich. It is sweet and quite delicious. Yes, perhaps I will order one right now. Oh look, it's Mr. Saguaro. He's so fashionable and cool. I guess the teachers come to the cafeteria too, huh? Do you think he'll have an egg sandwich? No way, if he gets anything here, it'll definitely be something spicy, like a 5-alarm sandwich. Oh, he's so cool. He definitely gets that wild and spicy 5-alarm sandwich. Could I have a 5-alarm sandwich? I do enjoy the thrill of spicy food. No, have a peanut butter sandwich. Ah, yes, you suggested I have a peanut butter sandwich, Miss Violet. I suppose I shall have to try one, if you insist. Don't give in to... It's not even peer pressure. That was close. I almost forced myself to order something spicy, my least favorite of flavors. I thank you for restraining me, Miss Violet. It seems that the students tend to view me as fashionable and cool, or even, dare I say it, exuding a sort of brooding strength. I have a habit of acting in such a way as to not to destroy their image of me. I showed my true colors to you just now without thinking. Please keep this a secret between us. He's ridiculous, teacher. Keep it up. Keep following this guy around. Ah, Miss Violet. There is something that I would very much like to ask for your help with. What is it? Well, you see, I do not want anyone to overhear this, but I hear rumors of an incredibly sweet condiment that exists somewhere in the Paldea region. I absolutely must experience that ambrosial sweetness for myself. You are the only one who knows of my insatiable sweet tooth, thus I have no one else I can turn to for help in this matter. I cannot go looking for this condiment myself, lest I destroy the image students have of me. I will repay you for your troubles, of course. Give it some thought if this piques your interest. In the meantime, I will gather what information I can about this incredibly sweet condiment. I will share what I find with you as soon as I have more detailed information. here. Wouldn't this be a nice place to be able to decorate? Oh well. We made a lot of home economics progress today. But we're getting close to being done through with the school stuff, and that's nice. Join us next time for more Pokemon. Thank you for watching. Bye.